We're going to be talking about the following four things in this video: the Virginia Plan, the New Jersey Plan, the Great Compromise, and the Three-Fifths Compromise. So please make sure that you are taking excellent notes. So the Founding Fathers get together in Philadelphia once more. We're talking 1787, and they decide they are going to fix the Articles of Confederation. When they first went to Philadelphia, they were going there to fix it. They took apart the Articles of Confederation. They were going to try to make them better. As they're taking apart the Articles of Confederation and talking about it, they realize that the Articles of Confederation is just too weak. You cannot fix it. You need to start from scratch, of which some people did not like. So they actually walked away from the meeting. They didn't want to be a part of something that was going to create a brand new constitution. Nevertheless, the people that did stay in Philadelphia at the Constitutional Convention elected George Washington to be the president, the guy that kind of ran the meetings and controlled everything. Not the president of the United States, the president of the convention. At this convention, you have two different plans that are called upon to basically be the structure for this new constitution. So you have what's known as the Virginia Plan and the New Jersey Plan. So the Virginia plans call for a bicameral legislature which has the number of representatives dependent on population. So the more people in your state, the more people you would have in the House of Representatives, or in their Congress, I should say. The New Jersey plan, on the other side, calls for a unicameral legislation, which is what they had under the Articles of Confederation, in which every single state received simply one vote. Now, both of these plans called for a stronger national government with three branches. So they wanted an executive branch, and they wanted a judicial branch, and they wanted a stronger legislative branch. New Jersey selected the plan that they did because New Jersey is small compared to Virginia. They don't have many people. So in Congress, Virginia would have more power than New Jersey. So in order to try to keep everything balanced, New Jersey thought that it would be more fair for the smaller states that if everyone in Congress had one vote. Now, Virginia has a lot of people there, so they want more power. The southern states want more power in general. So if they base it on population, the southern states would have more power in Congress. So it was a power struggle. Who's going to have more power in Congress? Is everyone going to be equal, or is everyone going to have delegates there based on population? This obviously leads to a huge debate. They don't want to fail again. They're starting from scratch. They don't want to fail at writing the second constitution. So in this lovely cartoon where you see fair, the New Jersey plan allows the few to control the many. We will never allow that. And then the other guy is saying, if that's your position, then my state is ready to leave. And then so will Maryland, and so will Delaware. So it was a fight over basically who's going to control Congress, who's going to have more power. And in this lovely cartoon, you have Virginia and New Jersey ready to duke it out. And it was, like I said before, a very heated debate between the states. There was a lot of arguing going on between the representatives that were there. How should the people be represented in the national legislature? When you have two opposing sides, you need to come up with a compromise. So what's developed is known as the Great Compromise. It takes bits and parts from each of the plans and makes them into what is eventually used. So it calls for a bicameral Congress. You have two houses in Congress. The House of Representatives, which has representatives based on population. So the more people you have in your state, the more representatives you have in the House. And then it has Senate, where it is two senators from every state, regardless of population. So each section satisfies the Virginia plan, and the other satisfies the New Jersey plan. Both houses of Congress must pass every law. So it's not like the Senate could pass a law and the House of Representatives disagrees with it. They both need to agree on a law in order for it to get passed. And going back to these friendly little fellows, basically what we have is they were fighting until they knocked themselves senseless, and they finally agree that the Great Compromise is the best thing for the nation. They kind of put their egos aside, and they decide to get along and compromise like adults for this new constitution. During the Constitutional Convention, the issue of slaves arise. Now, what are they going to do about slaves? Are they going to be counted in the population, especially in the South, because there were a ton of slaves there? Or are they going to ignore slaves? They're not people, they're not citizens, and just kind of pretend that they don't exist when you're counting the population for the House of Representatives. Congress comes up, or the Constitutional Convention, I should say, they come up with what's known as the 3/5 compromise. In order to determine a state's population, you are counting 3 out of every 5 states. So for example, in this cartoon, you see how you have 5 white men up on top, each of them count. At the bottom, you would have 5 slaves, but you're only counting 3. So it's like 2 of them don't exist. So you're now counting all the slaves, but you're counting some of the slaves. And that satisfied both the states that didn't have as much slavery and the states that did have a lot of slavery. By now, you should be able to answer these 4 questions. What is the Virginia and New Jersey plans? What is the Great Compromise? And what is the 3/5 compromise? Make sure you're able to explain each in detail. Don't forget about your blog, and I will see you guys tomorrow in class.